Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your sonic screwdrivers. We need to talk about one of the biggest downfalls in TV history. Doctor Who. A show that held a Guinness World Record in 94 countries at the same time. Christmas specials that pulled 13 million people to their sofas. Then there's a thing that's Doctor Who, only in name. In its last season, it was only managing 2 million viewers on a Saturday night. 2 million? That's not a viewership figure, that's a WhatsApp group. And I know what's on a lot of your minds. What the hell happened to the Whoniverse?
Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey.
It started with Chris Chibnall, a man who looked at one of the most successful sci-fi properties on the planet and thought, you know what this needs? A woman's touch. Because apparently 60 years of success just wasn't quite getting the message across.
Apple bobbing! I love apple bobbing.
That's right, Chibnall gave us a female doctor, just what everybody didn't want. You could hear the demand from absolutely nowhere. Nobody asked for it, nobody wanted it. Not one person was sitting at home watching Doctor Who and thinking this is great and all, but what if we made it shit? But no, Chibnall had a point to make, and Doctor Who was the vessel he was going to make it in, whether you liked it or not, and it was about as subtle as a flashbang in a library. The writing turned the Doctor, a character who once talked a Dalek out of exterminating him, through sheer intellectual dominance, into someone who responded to a companion's cancer scare with "I'm still quite socially awkward."
What?
That's not a downgrade, that's a free fall off a cliff. They took one of the most compelling characters in British science fiction history and made him hair. The ratings fell and kept falling, and rather than come to the conclusion that nobody wanted this, the scripts aren't working, back to the drawing board, the response was to call the audience bigots and move on. Always a winning strategy, that one. The viewers loved it so much, they left. Then the man everyone thought could save it all, Russell T Davies, the man who revived the show in 2005, The Return of the King. More like the return of the pantomime princess in a midlife crisis. Tennant and Donna followed suit, and for about 5 minutes, it felt like someone found the original recipe, and then someone dropped a turd in the mix, and they didn't even try to hide it. He invented by a generation a plot device allowing 2 doctors to exist simultaneously. 2 TARDISes, 2 timelines, because apparently one doctor wasn't confusing enough, and this is where it went from bad to unwatchable. 60 years of established law thrown straight down the drain, because Russell T Davies needed a clean handover and apparently couldn't think of another way to do it. It's the writing equivalent of breaking a window to open a door. He rebranded season 14 as season 1, 19 years of television, renamed like it was nothing. The message to every fan who'd watched for years was simple: we don't care about any of that. Keep up or don't. £6 to £8 million an episode. Each episode cost more than some films. The show never once appeared on the Nielsen charts. It received 1 Emmy nomination for choreography. You heard me right, choreography. I generally don't know what that means for a sci-fi show. Was the Dalek gliding particularly well? Did someone do an impressive run past the TARDIS? And what was Russell T Davies spending all that money on? A doctor who wore a dress in one episode just to make sure you knew about it. A historic gay kiss shoehorned in because representation. A drag queen villain because why not? The kitchen sink was already in there. And the new Doctor seemed more interested in photo shoots than playing the Doctor, too busy prancing around at fashion weeks while the show was losing 500,000 viewers an episode. And when you think it can't get any worse, Disney, the most DEI-heavy company on the planet, looked at what Russell T Davies was making and thought this is too much, even for us. When Disney calls time on your work agenda, that's not a cancellation, that's a diagnosis, and it's terminal. And through all of this, while everyone was running for the hills, numbers dropping so fast you'd think they was in the ring with Mike Tyson, Russell T Davies found time to go on record and describe fan criticism as hate being dangerously assumed as a fan voice. The same fans who watched for decades, who own the merchandise, go to the conventions, those fans are dangerous. There is a very specific kind of confidence required to oversee the steepest ratings drop in the show's modern history and conclude that the problem is the people watching. So where does this land? Doctor Who is 62 years old. It survived cancellation in 1989 because the idea at the centre of it is generally brilliant. An alien who looks human, travels through all of time and space. He's funny, he's strange, and occasionally terrifying. Somehow deeply human, despite not being human at all. That show could run forever, but not like this. So yes, let it die. Not the concept, not the character, not the idea. This current horseman you're masquerading as one of the best shows to grace our screens. Well, go on then. Jog on.